So I decided to go to YouTube the other day and just simply search for immigration evaluations just to see what populates. And so let's go to YouTube real quick. I searched immigration evaluation. And if you notice, I'm in sign in. So this is basically incognito mode. So the algorithm doesn't know who I am or what I'm looking for. And I started searching psychological evaluations. This was 11 years ago. This is someone who is in the Facebook group, Anim, what's up? And I kept on scrolling, I kept on searching, and then all you need to know to get started with immigration evaluations as a therapist side hustle. It's 550 views, and it was 10 months ago, and it was by a Mathew Ryan who is an LCSW. Now, I jumped in this video and I started to listen to what he was talking about, and I fundamentally disagreed with so much. So let's get into it as I critique what he talks about and how he explains immigration evaluations and trainings.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with.
I often see is that the entryway to the side hustle, there's a lot of in side hustles, right? They want to know, what they can do to make extra money while also diversifying what they do every day. And it makes sense, right? We want to avoid burn. We don't like doing the same thing over and over and over. So coming up with a side hustle is a great idea, right? There are tons of possibilities for side hustles. But one thing I often see is that the entryway to the side hustle, there's a lot of gatekeeping around that area, right? And one of the side hustles that is really great, but often very gate kept, if that's even a term, is immigration evaluations, right? And we're going to talk all about that today. I think.
So I hate that there's a little lag in my side, so I don't know if you noticed it, but there is a little lag. But let me say this, there is a lot of gatekeeping, and I've made notation of this in several videos in the past. I had said specifically that people who speak other languages outside of English that I know of from my experience, people who speak other languages, they don't typically talk about immigration evaluations. Why not? Right? A lot of the people who are LCSWs, counselors, who do immigration evaluations, who are bilingual, they do these evaluations. They don't go to Facebook groups and say, hey, immigration evaluations is a thing. And they don't teach people who look like me that they are qualified and they can do these evaluations. So I have said something very similar to how this industry is being gate kept. So I agree with you on this one, Matthew.
As you watch this video, you're going to realize you probably don't need to pay for some of the trainings out there. This whole video is going to deep dive into immigration evaluations and share with you all the steps you need to take to begin them and inform you all about them. I first heard about it.
So, with that statement there, this video is 12 minutes and 55 seconds. In 12 minutes and 55 seconds, you're not going to learn everything you need to know how to get started on immigration evaluations. I don't care how you paint it, I don't care how you put it on, the internet. It's just not possible. It's just not possible. You're going to miss something. And if you send people out there and tell them that they are prepared to do these evaluations in 12 minutes and 55 seconds, they're going to go out there and malpractice, giving them the confidence they need to go out there and just start getting clients and writing these reports. They're most likely going to malpractice. The other thing that I would like to say is with all the fluff that he's talking about, he's introducing himself and he's doing a YouTube content creating video that takes away from him teaching you how to do immigration evaluation. So there's no possible way that he can give me everything I need to know about how to do this work in 12 minutes. 13.
On YouTube or some blog, and I was interested in trying to get into immigration evaluations. It sounded like a great gig. It would allow me to diversify my day-to-day work. However, as I started to research this, I was able to learn a bit about what they were, but I wasn't able to figure out how do I actually do it. That is where I hit these roadblocks. So people were trying to sell really expensive courses to train me on immigration evaluations. I was trying to get copies of samples that I could just see, like, what is it? What is involved in it?
So let me comment on the really expensive courses. I noticed that too when I started learning how to do immigration evaluations. There was a friend of mine who, her name is Shahada. She had said that there are really expensive trainings out there. So I did my own research and I looked up three or four, and I noticed that they were really extensive and they were really expensive for no reason. But the main reason why they do this is because if you implement immigration evaluations into your practice, it's money generating for the rest of your career. And so it's evergreen, it's ongoing. You're going to continuously make money. So if they put out a training, a course, if we, because I have one as well, we put out courses and trainings that help you earn more money in your practice through the duration of your career, then that is the reasoning behind having expensive courses. When I first started off, I gave away 3 to 5 course my training for free, completely free. And out of those free gifts that I gave out, only like 1 or 2 people who were motivated, had the zeal to complete the course, completed it and went on to implement this in their practice. Then I bumped it up to $197. So when you look at courses and trainings that are $1,500 and then you see one that's $197, the value in the $197, it can't be there. I'm going to go with the one that costs $1,500 to get everything I need. So I had to slowly but surely increase the price to show that it was credible, it was legit, and I had to continuously put out content to show that I was competent to offer my training. Now let's talk about the other portion he had said. So my training is significantly cheaper than others still till this day because I want to do more help than create more income from my pockets. I can show you the numbers. I've Out of the 3 or 4 years that I've had this training, I haven't generated more than $10,000. I haven't. And I continuously, that's less than what, two and a half, 2.5 thousand. It's less than 369. It's a little bit less. It's not that much each year. I don't make that much off of this course at all. I want to help people, and creating the impact is what I would like to do, and the awareness. More people like me need to learn that immigration evaluations is an option. Starting in grad school, I want you to be introduced to this.
And people would try to sell these to me for like several $100s. I also saw people trying to sell consent forms to immigration evaluations. And now there's a place for that, right? I don't think people should just give away all their information, all their skills for free. I mean, I know the world doesn't work that way, and people should value their expertise and their skills. So this is nothing against people who are making immigration evaluation courses or selling those things. However, I did notice that it was really hard to even figure out where to start without having to pay a pretty exorbitant fee. And now,
Another reason why I started Your Guide to Immigration Evaluations, the Facebook group. I said that this is a great place to start so people can be introduced to immigration evaluations. If it's not for them, they don't like it, they don't like typing, writing papers, their grammar isn't well, they don't want to spend, 3 to 4 hours writing a report. They were done with that in grad school. They don't want to work with the population. Whatever it is, my Facebook group is where you're going to learn if this is the right niche for you. I think that's the perfect place to start with all the resources, free resources in the group. And then you can branch out to the YouTube channel, branch out to the TikTok. And then if you want to move further, I can do this. I'm willing to put in the work. I want to buy this course or I want to take this training. Now, he had talked about paying for a training, and he's going to go into how you don't need to pay for a course. And I disagree 1000%. Before he even gets to it, you need to invest in a training, even if it's not with me. There's another one out there that is around the same price range as mine. It's $500. Mine is $497. You need to make sure that you invest financially in a course or a training. And the reason for that is because you don't need to be, if it comes down to it, you don't say, how do you prove that you are qualified to do these evaluations? Oh, I've been practicing for 15 years. Oh, I've been, working with clients with PTSD and trauma and anxiety for 25 years as a licensed social worker or a licensed professional counselor. That doesn't cut it. Immigration is a very specific niche, and when you write these reports, it's going to a federal court, a federal judge. And so you need to make sure that you have either, you know, hours of CEUs. You can go through CEUs and get trainings. You can take free courses as far as an organization called Get a Soul in Austin, Texas. They have monthly or quarterly CEUs trainings that you can attend. They've got small trainings. They've got people who can help you if you have any questions. So going through those avenues, perfectly fine, but you need to make sure that you are getting the training that you need. And so a lot of times if you go that route, you're still not going to get what you need, like the sample templates, the consent forms, some of the release of information for attorneys and for your interpreter. All of that and more is included in these packages that we offer. Let's go more into it, Matthew. We're only 2 minutes into this video.
I've conducted successful immigration evaluations, and I didn't need to pay for the expensive trainings or the forms or anything like that. And I want to share with you how I was able to do that. I want to open the doors to immigration evaluation for anyone who might be interested. But if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button on this video and subscribe down below. It really is helpful. Only if you want to, though. There is no pressure. And so then the first thing we actually have to answer is, what exactly is an immigration evaluation? And if you've never heard of that before, it can be a little overwhelming. Now you'll see me glancing over here. I have a couple of notes written down. But an immigration evaluation is simply a type of mental health assessment that a mental health provider, right, a therapist, conducts with an individual to help them or their family member with the immigration process. And there are several different types of immigration evaluation.
Okay. So I'm so sorry, y'all. I just received a phone call and I probably need to answer that. But it's very important to know that immigration evaluations are not to help the client solely. So the person who comes in who is an applicant or a petitioner, it's not just to help them. It's to help the federal courts and the judge make a a good decision for everybody involved in the case. This right here is bias, right? It's showing that you as the evaluator, you're working for the client and you want to write the report in their favor. That's what I just heard. I can remind it just a little bit so we can clarify this. But as he explains this, you're the clinician and you're going to help your client with their case. You're going to help their client, your client, you're going to help them in their asylum application, their VAWA application, their UNT or T visa application. Let's listen to it one more time, but this is what we're alluding to when he says a statement like this.
A mental health provider, right, a therapist, that conducts with an individual to help them or their family member with the immigration process.
He says nothing about how it needs to be unbiased, objective, just stating the facts to help the courts and the client in this case. It doesn't do that. And so that's one more misleading piece of information. And again, Matthew, I'm not attacking you. I'm doing this more so for my Facebook group, Your Guide to Immigration Evaluations. And I actually thank you for putting this video up. I'm not going to go through the whole 12-minute video. I just wanted to get through the main girth, the juiciness of what Matthew is introducing.
Several different types of immigration evaluations, okay? There are what's known as extreme hardship waivers and cancellation of removals. There's asylums, VAWAs, violence against women, UNT visas, naturalization waivers, or N648s. Now, they're very confusing terms. I know that. I'm actually going to leave a link down below to a website that is called the Immigration Evaluation Institute. They are actually a really good resource. They have tons of really good explanations and free blog posts you can read a lot about. And for the most
Yeah, so that is a very popular website that people go to, clinicians go to not only gain information, but also to pay for a very expensive course. And so, although this information that is offered on that website is very helpful, um, it's free, it's online. It's anywhere. You can find this information anywhere. And I like to have these not only do you gain the understanding of what these application is, VAWA, um, the U visa, the asylum, the N648, in which master's level clinicians are not qualified according to federal government to complete, which is a two-page form, in some cases three. Um, not only do you understand what they are and who qualifies, but you are able to apply it if you watch the content in my Facebook group. Applying the content is very important. Applying the understanding is very important because when you get a phone call and someone says, "Yeah, I'm not too sure what my application is. My husband is undocumented, and they said that I need to get a psychological evaluation." Okay, so you need to be able to narrow it down. This is hardship. It's a provisional waiver, and so you know, if you understand which each application and then you're able to apply the understanding to a phone call to people who don't know the specifics of their case, they just trust the attorney, right? You've got to be able to have a not only an understanding but be able to apply. And that's why I have case vignettes in your guide to immigration evaluations. There's going to be a link in the bio. You can join that Facebook group completely free and start learning today. If you are a licensed mental health clinician or you are a student, you're more than welcome to join the Facebook group. I think I'm going to stop right there because I wanted to make the video less than 20 minutes. But Matthew, I just disagree with you. And again, this is an attack. I'll probably tag you and I'll actually tag this video. So if anybody wants to watch the full 12 minutes and 55 second video of Matthew introducing immigration evaluations and helping you, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that they watch. And this is unbiased and they can go ahead and learn from you if they feel like they can get that value. But at the end of the day, if you want to learn how to do immigration evaluations, your guide to immigration evaluations is a small Facebook group, which is under 1,000 members. I think we're at like 860 or something like that. Join the Facebook group and learn for yourself. Gain as much information as possible. And if you are wanting to take the next steps, you need to take a course. You need to invest in CEUs, trainings, or a course and get everything that you need to be set up to start working with the immigration or the global population. If you would like to learn more from me, I'm not hard to find. You can reach me on my email. You can DM me on Facebook, Instagram, or even on TikTok. Jeremiah with Minor to Major, helping people turn their minor setbacks into major comebacks. And I hope this video helped you.